And we, I made my statement on Friday. We made our statements. There's a lot has happened. I have never seen anything like this with the quartering drama with Kino Casino. And they had a channel struck down, their Clips channel, where their editor made all the money from it. So it wasn't really their channel. And by the way, that's how a lot of clip channels work. And I think it's great. I think it's great. And I'm not going to get into any personal stuff at all. Like no personal stuff with Jeremy Hambley or anything. Fact of the matter is that false flagging happened. It was admitted to very recently in a Bearing tweet from the quartering. So whatever plausible deniability is gone, is absolutely gone. That is gone. And then there's the issue of content theft. And I think if you present yourself as a free speech warrior, and certainly if you want to be authentic and honest, it's counterintuitive to steal. If you're going to claim, and bless you if you've converted to Catholicism and or religion, which I'm not in any organized religion. I am aware of the commandments, and there's two. I think it's 8 and 9. Correct me if I'm wrong, chat. Thou shalt not steal. Thou shalt not bear false witness against thy neighbor. So they're in the top 10. They're pretty important. Sent down from God. Sent down from God. Don't steal. Don't lie. That's it. It's pretty simple. And this doesn't have to be a hard gig if you're honest. Now, I get called a liar all the time. But I'm not here to change the world. I'm just here to give my opinion on stuff. If people don't like it, they're free to not like it. They're free to make videos about it. They're free to make videos calling me the worst things imaginable. That's fine. That's fine. I feel bad for Chrissie. I do. She stepped into a bad situation, and let's just keep it real. It got worse last night. It got a lot worse. It could have been handled a lot better. What I said Friday, I stand by, and that's a lot of what I said to Chrissie in our phone call. I'm not going to give you all the details. I'm not going to pile on Chrissie, but it was a disaster. It was a disaster of epic proportions. So, and it's not one that's going to end. I don't know if she's doing another stream tonight to make up for the super chats that weren't read. And again, I don't like drama. I don't like it coming my door. I don't like distractions at all, particularly to what I'm doing on my channel, and I don't want my co-host dragged into this. And we are, and it has to be acknowledged. But one thing I tried to do is mitigate it, because ultimately it ain't my problem. It's not Jeremy's problem. It's not Ryan's problem. But I don't know what the path forward is for Chrissie. I haven't talked to Chrissie yet. I probably will. No, this is not this is a Kobayashi Maru of YouTube. There's no good decision in this. But we'll figure it out. It's really important. Really important. And we've seen it time and time again. You have to be honest with the audience. And if the audience doesn't feel like, and I am part of that audience, right? My fellow members of the audience. If the audience doesn't feel like they're getting the truth, they will bail. They will bail. And there's one thing, if it's petty drama, I saw that talked about a lot. This is about false flagging, and it's not about who you had on as a guest, or that particular guest. And ultimately, authenticity is all we have. It's all we have. So, it doesn't matter what I want to hear, right? It matters what the audience wants to hear. And if you don't feel like you need to apologize, then don't. But it's not anything I'm asking for sure. But it might be owed to other people, because I think in Chrissie's closer friend circle, it looks like they're feeling pretty lied to right now. So again, this ain't my fucking wheelhouse at all. And I hope it turns out great for everybody. It just doesn't look like we're heading down that road at all at this point, because again, you can't disrespect the audience. We talked about it before. If it's one, there's always somebody in the chat, and God bless them. If you're here, you're here. That's fine. Saying some shit, and you go, all right, yeah, I suck. Thank you. But then if it's 90%, it's 99% of the chat, just acknowledge it, right? Acknowledge it. And I'm sure it felt horrible, and she felt steamrolled. And when that's not a good situation to be in, particularly when you're not prepared for it. But then there's just coming clean, right? So I don't want to say too much more before I talk to Chrissie, but and I eventually will, but I haven't got a text or a phone call yet, but she doesn't owe me that. But yeah. So starting out saying you feel bullied into something, that's going to turn a lot of people off immediately afterwards, right? And they're just not going to really buy into what you're going to say after that. And that it wasn't the case. I don't know who she felt bullied by, but we'll find out. We'll find out. But ultimately, if you're going to be online, you got to kind of know what's going on. You got to do your research as far as topics. That's very important. The topics that we talk about on FNT, and it takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of time to do that. And then you have to tell the truth. And if you are telling the truth, well, then the truth is on your side. The truth is on your side. But nobody's trying to force Chrissie to do anything she doesn't want to do. I'm seeing a lot of suggestions for FNT. But also, listen, I get it if you are, again, steamrolled and you're like, oh my God, all this shit happened. I was not expecting it. And I wanted to do this particular stream. That's fine. The next day I would come out and just go, listen, I got steamrolled. The next day, holy shit, looked into this stuff. Woo, that's bad. Holy crap. But, ultimately, if a channel gets false flagged, you can expect them to go to war. You can absolutely expect them to go to war. And the worst thing is this isn't petty drama when it comes to false flag. It is who, like I said before, it's like snitching in prison. And you just fucking can't do it. And it started a wave of it now that isn't stopping anytime soon. And when you go out on Twitter and you start stirring it up and making it worse, and then you say, for example, start calling me and SJW, like even that term is gay. And then you delete your Twitter account and you delete a bunch of videos and you piss off Bering, and Bering goes out and bodies you, absolutely bodied him yesterday, which, I hate drama too. At that point, I would just say maybe the internet isn't for me. It's a brutal place. You got to have a mindset. You got to have a mindset. I just, but, Perry, you got to have a mindset for this place. You do. That's it. And also knowing how to choose your battles, right? And that's part of being an adult. But, Chrissie's a grown up, and she will find her way out of this, and we'll see what's going to happen. I mean, it's still pretty fresh from last night. Which is worse, saying SJW or woke? SJW. I think woke gets to the point a lot quicker. Kino Casino was going after the quartering. Quartering had enough and said he's going to privately and publicly strike down the Kino Casino clip channel and other places. Kino Casino clip channel gets taken down. And then quartering, I got to keep this all straight in my head. Quartering denies it, although he said it was going to happen. So the internet's going to think what they're going to think, no matter what. Then people get into what are the oranges are for. That's from a short. Again, there's a million videos out there. You can you can get caught up on that. But it's spiraled worse and worse. And Melanie Mack is a co-host on Quartering's channel. And Chrissie interviewed Melanie Mack without really knowing like how bad the situation was. Apparently, Melanie Mack told her, don't worry about it. It's not a big deal. It was a big deal. And Chrissie claims to have not known what was going on, had the interview. It went crazy to the point where it ended up on my door. And I'm like, well, whatever the situation was, I think, whatever you're going to say, it should be said on your channel and not on FNT, because that's not what FNT is for. I don't like taking this now 21 minutes to fucking talk about it at all. And won't continue talking about this shit. And Chrissie did that last night. And the audience, there was a lot of things, but I'm going to save it for talking to Chrissie. A lot of things I saw that I was just not really sure they were that good, including mods banning people for non-bannable offenses and stuff like that. At this point, like when you come out, you got to come out and kind of come clean on it. That's all. So there we go. False flagging and stealing are very bad. Even sweeping for that kind of shit is really fucking bad. It is death for a channel. Absolute death. Being dishonest with the audience is incredibly bad. Incredibly bad. So, yeah. But, I don't have like any prepared statements or any shit like that. I'm just doing what I always do, talk off the cuff. And those are the things that I don't want to be any part of ever. And again, we throw out a lot of criticism. We need, and I've said this before, when dramas come up, we throw out a lot of criticism. We need to be able to take it. And if you see in the past with like Matt Jarbo, it was he couldn't take criticism. He couldn't take the criticism and freaked out. And sorry if this is a loaded question. It's all right, man. There's no handbook for this shit. I'll answer honestly. But will Chrissie be returning to FNT, or is that not up for discussion yet? I need to talk to Chrissie. That's why, I didn't want to say too much because I still need to talk to her, right? Because I really, this is how I deal with things on phone calls and not on streams. Now, I'll certainly tell you what I thought of the stream, which it wasn't good. It wasn't good for my eyes. I mean, you guys might see it differently. But again, there's no handbook for this shit. But she had a lot of friends talking to her about it, right? And the thing is, though, you can make suggestions and advise, but ultimately, Chrissie's got to say what she wants to say. And but the best friends are the ones that tell you when you fuck up. My wife, best wife in the world, best friend in the world, has no problems telling me when I fuck up, to the point where she loved me enough to have an intervention and kick me out of the house. So that's the kind of thing. It's kind of thing. Friends don't sign off on shit that is against their values. Hale, the whole quartering thing is nuts. She's not terminally online. She said time to figure it out. I was surprised by her take yesterday. Live long and prosper. Yeah. I was surprised too. Me and Mike, now that Jeremy from the quartering is kicking everyone out, is he gonna also close FNT? I heard from Alex Jones that he is the creator of the show. You never know, Zen Zoltan. Alex Jones has his own problems right now. Everyone has a Tardo-like friend. Just be honest and say, I know she's Tardo, but I love her anyway, instead of playing dumb. That was my problem. Yeah, like, it's don't play dumb in these situations, particularly when you know what's going on, right? If you're actually dumb to the thing, fine. But when you know it's going on and you just try to avoid it, it ends up making things worse. And it's not honest. It's not honest. I mean, ultimately. All right, we're going to get to FNT. And like I said, honesty is all we have. Integrity is all we have. And it's one thing to get blindsided and not know what to do, but then, just be honest after that. It's simple.